What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sully Squad on a Victory Monday, baby. Philadelphia Eagles enter the bye at 8-1. A huge escape. I mean, it was like you want to talk about an escape, man. I mean, the Eagles did everything they could to give that game away. It was almost like Escape from Alcatraz up in that John, dog. I mean, it's amazing, dude. Like, what an escape. I mean, I don't know about you, Sean, but like when Dallas got that ball at the 6, I mean, I was ready to hurl. Seriously, bro.
I was pretty pissed. I'm like, really? You're gonna do this right now?
Yeah.
This is what it comes down to. You know, Bradbury. We'll get into that, but yeah, nail bites and a lot of people's heart medication.
Yeah, man. But hey, a W's a W. 8-1. Eagles found a way. You know, they almost pissed it away, but props to the D-line. Brandon Graham coming up. Graham and Josh Sweat. Brandon Graham had a blast from the pass. I mean, you want to talk about a clutch ball player, that's Brandon Graham. I mean, first off, Philadelphia Eagles have 0 Super Bowl wins if it's not for BG. So he came up with 2 big plays. Josh Sweat came up with a big play. Absolutely. They got it done. We can sit here and say that Dallas choked, but honestly, the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line stepped up at the end. Yeah. They undressed the right tackle. So we're going to get into that. We're also going to get into red-hot Philadelphia 76ers. Sixers got Sixers are the only team in the NBA. They have 4 guys averaging 20 points. So Sixers are red-hot. The Nick Nurse system is doing crazy. Yes. We'll get into the James Harden trade. So let me add. I got Fuji and Diego backstage. Let me add my 2 guys on here right now, and we'll be all set. What's up, Fuji? How you doing, bro?
It's been a long time. 3 months back in the fold. Birds kicking ass. Bill's making a couple moves within the last few minutes. How's everybody doing? How the hell are you guys?
I'm doing great, bro. A win's a win. I'm trying to add Diego, but it only has sound. Diego, you there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I can't. I was gonna say
I'm driving, so I just turned the camera off. I'll just talk right now, and then when I park up, I'll come on the camera.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say
safety.
Yo, don't crash, brother. I mean, I was telling Sean, we were rapping a minute ago. I mean, would it maybe a crash would bring us some ratings? You know what I'm saying?
I was just gonna say when you said don't crash. You said don't crash. I was gonna say maybe I should crash, get some ratings. People be like, these things are crazy.
And
I know. Yeah,
Philly loves crazy. What do you think we're made of?
Yeah, really.
Exactly, dude.
Philadelphia is a rowdy town. Philadelphia likes to see rowdy things happen.
Let's go!
Dallas? How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowgirls?
Yeah, what a W, man. Yeah. I mean, a total escape. I'll take it, and I'll tell you what. So you guys probably watched me last night. I was on with Paul. I was on the Cowboys post-game show, and we were going back and forth. And I'm looking at these numbers here. Because Paul was bringing up numbers, right? And you see Dallas had 406 total yards. Eagles had 292. Dak had 333 yards passing. Jalen only had 183. Now, if you look at the numbers, you'd say Dallas carried the play. But let's keep it real, because I said this to Paul last night. Let me know if you guys agree. I thought the biggest part of that game yesterday was the first drive coming out of the half. Jalen Hurts. Yeah, he only threw for 183 yards, but he threw a freaking dime to Devontae Smith. He dropped a dime, perfect pass in the end zone, money time, warrior clutch shit. Throws it to him. They score a touchdown there. Then they come out and stop Dallas, and the Eagles come down and score again. I thought that was the biggest key to the game right there. That sequence. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. He threaded that pass right to Devontae, the Slim Reaper. Once again, touchdown, Yeah,
I thought that was a huge play in the game. I thought another, just setting the tone, Nick Sirianni going for it on his own, 30-yard line to start the game, 35-yard line. That was like a statement right there. Like, we're here to score. We're here to go for it. We're here to beat you guys. I really like that. But yeah, I agree with you. That was probably one of the biggest plays of the entire game.
Yeah, got a couple comments here. Maurice Wright says, I think Mahomes passed for less than 200 yards either. Chris Easy says Dallas Goedert going down hurts. Yes, it does.
Said Joe, you gotta have that Denver. I'm not gonna butcher his last name. The Denver tight end. He's got to step up.
I had some. I'm sorry about tonight. I meant to call you. I had an emergency, and I meant to call you.
Ken Fry says, what's up, squad? Nice win for the Eagles. Terrific game by a couple Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah.
As
well as your Raiders too.
Chris Rapizzi says, I think it was his shoulder. Dallas Goedert. Yeah, Goddard's going to be out at least for 4 weeks, maybe 5, 6 weeks.
Is that the prognosis?
Yeah, fractured forearm. IR, 4 weeks.
So no surgery.
No, he needs surgery.
I thought it was 4 to 6 weeks, no surgery, 6 to 8 weeks with surgery.
Ian Rappaport said that he was going to get surgery possibly as soon as today, but I don't. Maybe that didn't happen. I'm not really sure.
Okay, well, that's a big loss. What do you guys think? Who do we turn to? Who do we turn to now to be our tight end to step up? Stoll?
No, Denver's the Denver tight end that we acquired. I'm not going to butcher his last name. Stoll.
Awuka Wemby or something.
Yeah, Stoll is going to be the blocking tight end, and as far as I'm concerned, Cal Quintera, you're playing thin ice with him. He's I don't know how many concussions deep, man, but good for him. You know what I'm saying? So, all in all, the Denver tight end got to step up. It is a shame. It is a loss. You know.
Well, that's the first guy that popped into my head when I seen it happen. I said it right away to my brother. I was like, I think he broke his arm. I was like, the way that dude just landed on, I think he broke his arm. Well, he's like, nah, he's fine.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So that's the first guy that popped into my head to step up. The Denver tight end that we acquired.
Mm-hmm. He's big body. He's got nice size, nice weight. And we didn't get him just to get him. So Howie and the scout squad see something in him. So let's go. I mean, work him in during the bye. Get him acclimated with the plays. So.
Yeah, I mean, here, hang on a second. Chris Rapizzi says, pop in my head. I was like, fuck, it's his shoulder. Yeah, that's straight. Yeah, I think it was actually his forearm, though.
It was. As soon as it
was. I was like, he broke his forearm. I was like, he broke his arm.
He held his forearm and he goes, damn, my arm. I read his lips. And then as soon as he was on walked into the tunnel, he was holding his arm like this. So I knew for a fact it was his forearm. He just
I seen a lot of people.
His weight and the dude's weight.
I seen a lot of people say that was a dirty hit, but if you're Dallas Goedert, you're stiff arming that dude. Mm-hmm. So, like, what do you expect that guy to do? He's got to get you down somehow. You got a hand in his face.
Now, back to dirty plays with DeMarcus Lawrence. That was a dirty play on Hurts.
That was low. That at least should have been a flag.
Yeah, I'm not bitching and moaning about it, but that was definitely unsportsmanlike. But you know, the calls were not getting called either side. You know, Sweat getting held behind his shoulder. You know, but even it went with Micah Parsons. But like we said, a win's a win. I'm not going to bitch about the penalties, but penalties do.
Yeah, I mean, I got right here Chris Repeat, and then another one too, another big play, Jalen Hurts. How about that? How about that Hurts knee, and how about him going down? Hang on one second. Fuji, hey Fuji, what's up, man?
Sorry about the Phils.
No, that's okay. Yeah, so Chris Rapizzi says, how about the knee and him going down? And you know, you guys mentioned about the penalties. I mean, the bottom line is that I thought there were some ticky-tack fouls either way. I also thought that you know, like Sean said, I saw Josh Sweat get held, I saw Carter get held, but then I also saw Parsons get held multiple times. I thought the call on Gilmore was really weak.
That was a bad call. That was a bad call. He's reading that ball the whole way. The ball's 5 yards out of bounds. I said it to the guy who dropped off the packages at our job that I was talking to him, and I said, Dallas Cowboys fans can complain about calls missed, and I agree. There was a lot of bad calls missed, but it was inconsistent on both sides of the ball.
It was. Yeah. I don't think, if I see a Cowboys fan say that they lost because of the refs, I'm like, nah, no, they didn't. There was missed calls on both sides, and there was ticky-tack shit on each side. So I don't want to hear that. I don't believe that the referees decided that football game at all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Miami game, I even give them a little bit of 13 penalties and nothing's a little bit absurd when everybody knows you can get a penalty on every single play of the NFL. So I understand that argument, but come on, that Cowboys game yesterday, there was no referees called that horrible all game, both sides.
Yeah, Maurice Wright says, did you notice the Cowboys defensive line were lined up in the neutral zone all game and the refs only called it one time? Honestly, I didn't really notice it. I mean, if you noticed it, Maurice, then maybe he noticed. I didn't notice it, to be honest with you. But what were so obviously the Eagles got the win. What were some of your biggest takeaways? I mean, well, first off, I mean, what a turning point win. I mean, if Dallas comes back and if Dallas comes back and wins that game, all of a sudden we're basically in a virtual tie with them. I mean, technically we'd be half game up, but they play the Giants next week, and they're probably going to crush the Giants. So in essence, we'd be tied with them with Dallas holding with Dallas having a head-to-head win in Philadelphia. Now the Eagles win. The Eagles are 2 games up with the first tiebreaker until we play them again. What a difference. And basically, if you look at the schedule now, the Eagles have a really tough next 5 games. But if the Eagles can go 3-2 in the next 5, they just have to beat the Giants twice in Arizona in the last 3 to get to 14-3. So it's looking really good for the Eagles to get that number 1 seed. We just need Detroit to slip up and lose I know Detroit's got an easy schedule, but Detroit's got to mess up and lose a game or 2, and then the Eagles are really tracking to get that number 1 seed.
Well, right now, as going into this week, wasn't Seattle the 2nd seed?
Yeah, but they got their ass kicked yesterday.
Right, I knew that.
Yeah, so Seattle got their 3rd L, if we're going for number 1 seed, Detroit's a little bit of a concern because they have a really easy schedule. Although I'll tell you what, Josh Dobbs didn't look bad for Minnesota. That Minnesota game, they play Minnesota twice. Minnesota, if Dobbs plays like he did yesterday, they may beat Detroit once. I mean, they could beat them possibly.
Oh yeah, I mean that game was a shootout with Atlanta.
Yeah,
but I mean,
Detroit just played a pretty bad game against the Raiders.
That's true.
Yeah.
They left the Raiders in that game all game. So if they play like that against bad teams, they'll find a loss or 2 in their schedule.
The Cowboys beat any team over 500.
I think the only one they did is technically the Jets, but the Jets weren't 5. I mean, the Jets had just lost Aaron Rodgers, so it was kind of like
week 2.
Yeah, they caught the Jets at the perfect time. I mean, I wish Dallas was playing the Jets now. I mean, Zach Wilson stinks, but they're at least a little bit more used to playing with Zach Wilson. They'd be a tougher team to beat now than they were in week 2.
Well, Rodgers has been on the sidelines, I think, kind of helping Zach Wilson in certain games and different reads and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's doing too good. Zach Wilson sucks.
Well, hey, that defense is carrying him.
Definitely.
I mean, yeah, but hey, Aaron Rodgers' knowledge, I mean, can't be any worse than what the hell's there now. So
yeah, but you know what that's like though? That's like Ted Williams trying to teach Johan Rojas how to hit. You know what I mean? Like Ted Williams could be like, "Oh, I don't understand. Like, look, you expect the fastball there," and Rojas is like, "I'm trying, dude. I'm just not here." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, if Rodgers never got hurt, probably be a totally different season for them. I mean, hell, they almost the week before they beat the Eagles, they almost knocked Kansas City off.
I'll tell you what, if Aaron Rodgers was healthy, right now, if Aaron Rodgers was healthy playing all year, the Jets would be my team to make the Super Bowl out of the AFC.
At least, I would say at least the AFC Championship.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because Cincinnati's playing really good ball right now, and the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. I think the Dolphins are starting to be exposed a little bit as like a glamour and glitz team. They're all show no substance. The Dolphins.
Nah, they don't beat good teams. The Dolphins don't beat good teams. The Dolphins are.
They should have beat Kansas City yesterday. Looked like they struggled.
Yeah, Kansas City keeps winning, mostly, in my opinion, mostly just because they have that championship pedigree. But Kansas City is. You talk about the Eagles not looking impressive. Kansas City hasn't looked. I mean, there's people out there that go, "Oh, the Eagles are 8-1. They haven't looked impressive." Kansas City hasn't looked impressive. They keep winning.
But I feel like they're a similar team to how like we keep saying every week. Eagles they find a way to win, no matter what kind of game they get put into. They can play in that game and they win in those type of games. Kansas City, same thing. They any kind of game you get Mahomes into, or that defense always finds a way to show up against good quarterbacks too.
Yeah,
but any situation you get them kind of quarterbacks in, I feel like they find a way to just win them games.
Yeah, Eileen C with a comment. I think she's talking about Zach Wilson. She said he's better than Tommy DeVito. No, it's funny. Tommy DeVito sounds like the local drum. He sounds like a local drummer from like a local band. You know what I mean? Like you go out to a bar and you're like, oh, who's the drummer? Tommy DeVito. Oh, cool. Let's go see him on Saturday night. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, he's playing quarterback for the Giants.
I won't even go as far to say he's better than Danny DeVito.
Tommy,
Zach Wilson's so bad that I gotta see Danny DeVito play some games. You know what I'm saying? And I'll let you know if he's worse than Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's hard to watch sometimes.
Well, that damn Jets offense is putrid. I mean, come on.
It's hard to watch. Like sometimes he's just like looking at the middle linebacker, throws it right to him, and I'm like, what is going on? I don't get how he did that.
Yeah, here's one right here. Maurice Wright says Baltimore is hot right now, guys. I'm looking at a team whose quarterback doesn't turn the football over. Tell you what, Baltimore, it wouldn't. I mean, there's a lot of football left, but I wouldn't be if Baltimore gets home field advantage. They're going to be tough to beat in Baltimore, and if that's the case, it wouldn't shock me if it was a Philadelphia-Baltimore Super Bowl. That'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah, but Lamar Jackson always makes me just like. I don't think he's beat anybody or done enough to be able to be like, yeah, that's the scariest team in the AFC with like all them other like Joe Burrows and Mahomes.
Well, that defense
I'm putting my money on Mahomes and Burrows 10 out of 10 times.
Well, when it comes to the quarterback position, yeah, but I'm saying, if Baltimore does get home field, they get a good running game. And good running game, defense. I'm just saying if they get home field, they could possibly find a way to win.
Well, now if I'm them, the ball.
I'd rather play Kansas City at home than Cincinnati because Cincinnati goes down there all the time.
Yeah, that's true. They wouldn't be intimidated.
Yeah, I just feel like that's a normal trip for them. They play them twice a year. Burrows played them twice a year since he came into the league. That's a normal trip. But like, do you want Mahomes coming to your house too?
No, not really. If I'm in the AFC, I'd be praying that somebody else took Mahomes out.
I'd be praying Josh Allen finds a way to get lucky in a couple games, and I got to play him in Baltimore.
Get Kansas City out of Arrowhead. I mean, I'm sure they can definitely be beat on the road.
I'm sure they can. They're a beatable team this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
the Eagles are going to. 2 weeks from the night, the Eagles are going to knock them the hell off.
I agree with that. I think the Eagles beat Kansas City.
And I think the Eagles are getting Buffalo and San Fran at the right time the next 2 games after that. Coming off the bye.
Yeah.
Hey, let's hope. I mean, like I said, I'm of course I'm hoping for 5-0 because I don't want to see any losses, but I'll be happy with 3-2. So just find a way to get to 3-2 the next 5, and I'll be feeling pretty good about where we are.
Oh, it's more the interconference games you got to worry about than the outer the AFC.
If the Eagles come out of these games 4-2, It's a wrap. Wrap up that 1 seed.
Yeah, well, and that includes yesterday because there were 6 going into yesterday, so they already have 1. So then they have to win another 3 to get to 4-2 in the 6. Yep.
Yeah, if they go 3-2 in the next 5, I feel you can almost ink that first round bye.
Oh, the bye couldn't come at a better time with all these guys going down. I mean, these injuries this year are ridiculous.
I know.
I don't know if it's the trainers that they have, but I don't know what it is. I mean, we're way past the training camp mark now. I mean, usually you figure the first month everybody gets something going on, but now it's like just too many injuries.
Well,
the perfect time for a bye week.
Nakobe Dean's hurt again.
I'll tell you what, I don't think Nakobe Dean can play.
He sucks.
Well,
I mean, it's hard. It's hard to get a great read on him because he's been hurt, then he came back, now he's hurt again. I mean, I don't know if I'm willing to say that he sucks, but it's what's the old saying, man? You can't make the club in the tub. You know what I mean?
Yeah, repeat after me. He sucks. Nakobe Dean is horrible. That middle of the field's so bad. It's not just him. Like sometimes you can like have an average linebacker, and then you have a good linebacker next to him. He can kind of hide a little bit of that average linebacker next to him. But if Nakobe Dean's your best linebacker, he's not helping no one be a little better.
Are you guys concerned with the fact that the Eagles had double-digit
penalties in 2 weeks? Yeah. I mean, that's
right.
Yeah.
A little concerned because you keep getting penalties. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you in this. I mean, we're lucky it didn't catch up to us yesterday. I mean, shit, Dallas moved the football all the way down based off of penalties that last drive.
Yeah, and then shot themselves in the foot based on penalties too.
Yeah, that's true. I know. How do you get a delay a game at the end of the game? That's like almost inexcusable.
You were talking about on paper yesterday. If you look at Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts on paper, you didn't watch that game. Dak Prescott looks like the way better quarterback. But when you watch the games, Dak Prescott makes so many stupid mistakes that like hinder his full potential that you don't see Jalen Hurts make.
Yeah, exactly. Jalen Hurts makes winning plays. I mean, Jalen Hurts is like 25-2 in his last 27 starts or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
25-2.
That's stuff that the Peyton Mannings and the Tom Bradys and the Joe Montanas do. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of numbers. And the Mahomes, possibly. I may be a Mahomes then, I'm not sure. But that's crazy.
Well, Dak's already proven he can't play in the playoffs. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you watched Dak yesterday, dude, he was carving us. He was making great throws. He was making good reads. I'm watching him. I'm like, yo, this guy's on fire. And then every time it came to like a big play or a big portion, he'd get a delay of game or he'd throw a horrible pass. And I'm like, dude, you've been on point all game. Where'd that pass come from? And I'm looking at it just like a football fan. Obviously, I love watching those plays by Dak. But when you look at Jalen Hurts, he doesn't make them same dumb mistakes. He pretty much plays mistake-free football, and I feel like that's what makes him great, opposed to like, you know what I'm saying, Dak Prescott, who makes little mistakes, like step out of bounds on a 2-point conversion that he should have definitely got in. Jalen Hurts doesn't step out of bounds on that 2-point conversion. Swap rolls, he don't step out of bounds. He knows exactly where he's at. He has that runner's mentality where, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just little things like that I feel like separate him from every other quarterback besides Burrows and Mahomes.
I got another one for you. on the 4th and 8 on the second to last drive, Ferguson, the tight end, was killing us all game. The Eagles actually for once did a good job on CeeDee Lamb on this particular play because I know he killed us for 191 yards. Right. But they had him bracketed on this particular play. Now, Prescott, I don't know what the play call was, but for the life of me, I can't understand why you would throw the ball on an out to Tolbert. Right, when you were killing us all game with Ferguson and Lamb over the middle. To me, if Lamb's bracketed, Ferguson should have been open over the middle. If I'm Prescott, I'm looking for Ferguson over the middle. I'm not throwing the Tolbert. I mean, let's keep it real. What's Tolbert? Their 4th receiver, 5th receiver? I mean, like you said, Diego, as good as Dak played, that's situational football, that's situational awareness, and that's winning time decision making. And to me, if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm not going to Tolbert with the game on the fucking line.
No, that was.
I think he only best receiver.
I think he only went to Tolbert because he knew Tolbert was 1-on-1. But like you just said, I don't, and like Fuzia said, I don't care who Tolbert is 1-on-1 with. I'm going to the guy who's been killing me all game, which is Ferguson, or I'm forcing it to CeeDee Lamb. I'm not throwing an out with a 1-on-1 coverage to Tolbert. That's not how I'm losing the game.
Yeah, because Bradbury was right on. I mean, let's keep it real. You know, Bradbury was getting cooked a lot of that game, but Bradbury, even on his worst day, can still cover Tolbert.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's what separates Hurts to Prescott. That's what I feel like it does. Hurts just makes every right play, and Prescott, every time it comes to making the right play, it makes the wrong play.
Yeah, and that's what we said yesterday. Like, you know, numbers are very misleading. I mean, you know, Dallas numbers wise, you look at this game and you say, hey, you know what? Dallas outgained the Eagles 406 to 292. Outpassed them 333 to 183, you know, more yards per game, more yards per play, more first downs, blah, blah, blah. Like I watched somebody I saw it on Twitter or whatever. It was like Skip Bayless was saying all that. And Keyshawn Johnson basically said, yeah, and you took the L. You know what I mean? Like, yes, and you took the L. Like, I could wipe my ass with these stats. Like, seriously. I mean, I might get a cut, so I won't. But you know what I mean? I could literally wipe my ass with these stats. It's all about W's, dude. And the Eagles came up with the plays when it mattered. They got the W, and that's all that matters, bro.
100%, Jeff. That's 100%.
So, speaking of W's and L's, we touched on the Jets. What's your guys' prediction on the Jets Chargers game tonight? Like Fuji, what do you think? Who do you think's going to win that Jets Chargers game tonight?
The Jets do look solid with that defense, but I'm going to have to go with the Chargers.
Yeah, I kind of like the Chargers too. What about you, Diego? I know you were saying I think you liked the Chargers earlier.
Oh no, but first I'm going to say, Fuji, that hat's so fire.
That is a fire hat.
That hat's so fire. They're like the Eagles Cowboys.
Or off eBay for like $80.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. But if I had to pick tonight, Jets defense will keep them in it. I think the Chargers win. 24-17.
Okay. How about you, Sean?
I think Sean.
We're not hearing Sean right now.
Sean?
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you. All right. Hang on a second. I got Maurice Wright says Ferguson was wide open. Thank God that football gods didn't make that decision to throw the ball there. Maurice Wright says give the ball to the running back tonight, New York. He's getting busy lately. You know what? All right, we'll try to get Sean. Sean will try to get situated in a minute, and we'll get his pick. How about before we move on to the Sixers? How about any other takeaways from football yesterday? I'll tell you mine. C.J. Stroud.
I was gonna say C.J. Stroud.
500 yards, right?
470 yards, 5 touchdowns, no turnovers. That's the biggest thing. A rookie to have that kind of game and not turn the ball over once. Kid is good.
I would say right now he's got to be offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, and D'Amico Ryan's coach of the year.
Oh yeah,
there's a reason that
nice ball down there in Houston.
Yeah, they were the worst team in the league last year, pretty much. They've been horrible for so long.
Yeah,
we're talking about they're 4-4 now with a rookie quarterback, and I think the difference is D'Amico Ryan's. San Fran's defense was super nasty for the last 3 years. If you ask me, they are not as good this year.
They're not.
You can move the ball on them this year. Now, don't get me wrong. They're going to still be effective because the kind of caliber players they have on that defense, like Bozo will make plays, Ward's a great corner, then linebackers are insane. But I think D'Amico Ryan's really kept them together and had them playing like a solid unit, opposed to they're just a lot of good players now.
I think D'Amico Ryan's, you brought him in as a head coach, and I think he's bringing that winning attitude. You know, he was a nice player in the NFL. I believe he was basically the play caller at linebacker for Houston and the Eagles when he was here. So,
Yeah.
He was good. He was good in the NFL.
Yeah.
Serviceable linebacker. He was good.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's a real quick, Mike Lauro. What's up, fellas? It's about time.
Mike?
What's up, Mike? How you doing?
Yeah.
You can check Mike out on Sundays on PM and the AM on Edge of Philly, and also on Thursday nights with the Locker Room. So make sure you check Mike out. Sean, you were cut off. Would you have a feel on tonight's game?
Chargers. Chargers are gonna win. I think Eckler's gonna have a big game.
All right, the Chargers, and then
Chargers, baby.
We were talking about our number one takeaway. I said CJ Stroud was my number one takeaway. My number two was the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, they're just smoking people right now.
They are. They don't. For some reason, I don't know. If we met the Baltimore Ravens in the Super Bowl, I think Eagles win that.
Baltimore Ravens are number one in defense as of yesterday. 4 sacks on Geno Smith, two forced fumbles, and they just pressured Geno Smith all day, man. And the points on the scoreboard don't lie. What, 37-3? So
yeah, I mean they took it to Seattle.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching a lot of that game. The only play I saw Seattle make was they had one long pass to Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
And that was it. That was like the only play I saw them. I mean, I had the box of the 4 Johns on. That's like the only play I saw Seattle make. The rest of the time, every time I glanced at it, Baltimore was doing something to kick their ass.
Yeah,
I don't think Seattle's getting their just due right now, being ranked number 1 in the AFC.
Yeah, I think Seattle.
I mean, like you said, her defense, Sean's playing lights out.
They are.
Everybody can talk about
linebackers.
Everybody can talk about, whatever, Cincinnati, Kansas City, but I put my money right now on Baltimore.
Yeah. I'd love to have their secondary, Baltimore. Even Joey can agree. They're just streaky. They know how to cover the wide receivers, And you got John Harbaugh down there, you know what I mean? So what more, And their linebackers are good too. They got Roquan Smith, tackling machine.
If I had to put money on who comes out the AFC right now, I'm taking Cincinnati.
They are red hot.
They both are hot. Their linebacker core I love. I love the kid, and my buddy Maurice can vouch. Logan Wilson from Wyoming.
He's sick.
That kid can play some football.
Like a tackle machine.
Play.
He made a play the other day on, I forget who they were playing. It wasn't yesterday. It was the game before that. He's running back. He makes the quarterback think that he's covering this dude here. Soon as he releases it, he turns around, just cuts the ball off. And I was like, that's just so nasty how he manipulated the quarterback to throw that ball. Turned his back to the play and knew he was going to make the quarterback bite. Dude's nasty.
I think it was Kansas City.
I think it was Kansas City.
No, he was.
I think he got Mahomes.
2 interceptions on Mahomes.
Yeah, and I was like,
the way he was playing center field, typical. And the way he played Mahomes, he zoned him in. Boom.
100% tricked him. Turned his hips like this. Mahomes was like, all right, I got him. Turns his hips right back. Picked it off. I was like, that was insane.
If it ain't Logan Wilson, it's Hendrickson, the acquisition.
He's nasty too.
He is, man. Just the way he plays that end position. He's fast and got great technique, man.
The old Dallas Cowboys player, Awuzio, whatever his name is, Awuzio. He locked Stephon Diggs up yesterday.
He did. He played well. Yeah, they were impressive last night. Cincinnati was impressive.
Yes.
Baltimore was impressive. Another takeaway around the league. A lot of shitty quarterback play. I mean, Chicago had that kid playing. He turned the ball
sucks.
over.
Bryce Young sucks.
Yeah, another takeaway. Somebody's going to win the NFC South by default. That division fucking blows.
Yeah. Who do you think wins it?
Tampa Bay.
I don't. You know what? Christ, man, flip a coin because either Tampa Bay or New Orleans probably. I mean, Atlanta stinks. I mean, Atlanta, like, they fucking blow. By the way, like, you drafted Bijan Robinson 8th. You don't even give him the friggin' ball.
They don't use him the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the hell is Atlanta doing down there? That coach is going to get fired.
Oh,
He should get fired. He's
Arthur
tough.
Smith.
He's
Yeah.
for him is he's getting canned. Because the
He
way
made him like the
they're not
second coming.
utilizing Bijan, Ritter stinks. Watch them
Ritter
go after
stinks.
a
Ritter's
quarterback.
terrible.
Watch
Ritter
them go
stinks.
after a quarterback. And,
I think the Saints win it
yeah.
because they have by default.
I was thinking the Saints earlier in the year. I mean, they have the talent, especially, going into the season. I mean, their defense was ranked pretty high.
Well, I was going to say, Saints can always play defense, and I feel like Alvin Kamara is having a pretty decent season.
Oh, yeah,
so
he's coming on.
when you have a player that can make plays like Alvin Kamara, but Tampa Bay also has some playmakers. Like Mike Evans makes some big plays. They lost yesterday in a game they shouldn't have lost. C.J. Stroud threw a touchdown in 46 seconds.
That's true. I mean, hey, look, Baker Mayfield had a good game yesterday. But
Yeah, Baker played good.
Baker's playing well. I mean, yeah, I think it comes down to Tampa Bay or New Orleans.
Yeah,
And I'll tell you what, I've been a little disappointed in Derek Carr. Not saying Derek Carr is a great quarterback, but he's got Derek Carr has the best pedigree in that division, and I mean they barely beat the Bears yesterday, and the Bears turned the ball over 5 times, and they barely beat them. I mean, to me, you play a team like Chicago who turns the ball over 5 times, you should be winning by like 3 touchdowns.
Well, like you said,
I agree.
The pedigree that Carr has. I mean, going in New Orleans with that defense and all that offensive talent around them, like you would think they would run away with this division.
Did Derek Carr ever play in a playoff game?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, yes, he did.
Baker Mayfield did too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Baker did with Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baker actually played in a couple of them. If you remember, Baker went to Pittsburgh, beat them in Pittsburgh, and he almost won at Kansas City. They almost won that game a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean, Baker might have a little more pedigree than Derek Carr.
Derek Carr was like runner-up to MVP behind Brady quite a few years back.
Yeah, he had one killer ass season.
I think it all comes down to, like we said, defense wins games. Both those guys have good defenses. But like Fuji said, I kind of now thinking of it, give the edge to like New Orleans, And Kamara, like you said, his legs are fresh after that 4-game suspension.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
I'll tell you what, guys. That NFC South division, boring as fuck. And when I think of stuff that's boring, I might want to drink some coffee. So anybody out there, if you want, if you're watching a boring ass, shitty ass division like the NFC South, if there's any NFC South fans out there, hey, apologies, sorry, but you guys blow. All right, but anyway, if you're trying to watch that shit, maybe you want to have some coffee. Drinks the best coffee out there is Monkey's Cold Coffee. You could use the promo code OOTBS Sports at monkeycoldcoffee.com. I got another one here. I know we touched on this earlier. We were all really upset when we saw Dallas Goedert go down. And he got hurt on the job. Well, Dallas Goedert's a millionaire, so why I feel bad for him. He's okay financially, but if you get hurt on the job, you might not be okay financially. So if you get hurt on the job, make sure you call my man Jason Fine, aka Attorney Big Al. Motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, workers' compensation, or, like I said, personal injury claim. He's got 3 offices around Pennsylvania, New Jersey, 1 in Philadelphia, PA, 1 in Cherry Hill, and 1 in Pittsburgh, PA. So if you, like I said, my man will get you paid, dude. So make sure you give him a call. But yeah, so anyway, guys, we obviously touched on a lot of football. I'd like to get into some red-hot Philadelphia 76ers, but before we do, one more thing. Just came out before the show. The Phillies offered Fuji. You sent this over to me. The Fugees. The Fugees. Yeah, the Fugees did it. No, remember the Fugees, 1996. Ready or not, right?
Ready or not.
Yeah.
Here I come. You can't hide. I'm gonna find you. All right, let me stop. All right, but anyway, save the rapping for a concert, right, Sean?
Yeah.
Save your rapping for the shower, Joe. Okay.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you I heard the great? Did I ever tell you? Billy Smith told me, or maybe it was either Billy Smith or Keith Fedora told me the greatest insult at Washington High School. This dude was trying to rap to this girl, right? He's like, "Yo, what's up, baby?" He's like, "Yo, what's up, baby? Can I rap to you?" She's like, "Save your rapping for a concert." Everybody just hammered his ass, dude. It was great.
Exactly.
But yeah, Phillies offered Aaron Nola a $20 million qualifying offer. They didn't offer Rhys Hoskins a qualifying offer, so that'll be something. The free agency, and trade wise, we'll get into that as the weeks go on. But anyway, Philadelphia 76ers are red hot. They've won 4 games in a row. They're 4-1.
Yeah.
Red hot. But between that and then the James Harden trade, what's your guys' thoughts on the James Harden trade?
Good riddance. The loser mentality's gone. It's kind of like almost a fresh start. Kelly Oubre, man, he's averaging 21 points. I mean, I think Nick Nurse has this team slowly but surely playing his type of basketball. I have yet to watch a game, but just looking and reading, it looks good for the season, hopefully. Hopefully we can acquire some players with those 2 draft picks. Your thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I agree, Sean. The draft picks were definitely the key to the trade. Now we actually got some assets that could possibly bring us one more star. Mm-hmm. Kelly Oubre, super underrated. Yeah. Super underrated. Kelly Oubre is a huge addition to the Sixers right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the James Harden trade. He had to go. He wanted to go. He wasn't happy. And we got them picks. The picks are all that matter. And that's what we got.
Mm-hmm.
Fuji,
how about you, Fuji? What do you think?
Yeah. Can't hear him.
We're not hearing you.
I'm trying to read lips.
Oh, it's my fault.
That's all right.
No, I think the trade was great. You got rid of that cancer. You got him out of here. You dumped PJ Tucker's contract. You got some new blood in here. You got money coming off the books at the end of the year. Hopefully, hopefully it'll maybe by the trade deadline, if this team continues to play the way they are, they could go out and get something and put something to help Embiid and Maxey and Kelly Oubre.
This team's better. I think. I mean, I know we have a small sample size, and James Harden won us 2 playoff games pretty much on his own. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to say this team with Nick Nurse's offense is better than last year's team.
Oh, absolutely. And going forward, what players would you want to acquire? I would love to get it to Rosen.
So I feel like if you look at this team, you can't really acquire any more role players. Like every role on the team is taken. The only role left to fill, in my opinion, and I kind of feel like Tobias is actually doing it right now himself, is bringing a 3rd star, like a Zach LaVine. But like I said, Tobias is putting up some numbers now. What?
He don't play defense. I like him, but I want a guy that Joey knows that plays defense, but his offense is great, but he don't play defense. Yeah,
I mean, but like the NBA, does anyone in the NBA really play defense?
Nah, it's changed. You're right.
You got to protect the rim. You got to protect the rim, which you got to Embiid to do that. Oubre's not a bad defender. Tobias Harris isn't a horrible defender. I mean, he's not the biggest rebounder, but he can use his body to keep guys in front of him. There's a couple, like I watched Tobias Harris. He gets his hands up. He's not the worst. And Maxey's always gonna be a little bit of a liability on defense. That is what it is. Take the good with the bad with him.
Yeah,
just like Maurice said.
Maurice Wright says Covington plays some defense.
I like how Nick Nurse plays everybody. Like I've seen him put in Furkan Korkmaz has come in and made big shots.
He had a dunk.
The forgotten man.
He had a drive to the basket where he just like, and I was like, who's Furkan Korkmaz think he is? Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
How's Korkmaz still even on this roster?
Like, it's funny. he asked to be traded with them to go to the Clippers, and they said no.
No, because Nick Nurse might have a little bit of a role for him.
Yeah,
Korkmaz's a shooter.
Yeah,
He's that guy. He sees 2 or 3 go through the basket. He can hit some shots.
He
So
sees potential in himself, where he probably was like, the doc ain't showing it to me, so is Nick going to show it to me? And like you said, Diego, he sees something that he doesn't see. So,
well, do you know the playoff games where like it just seems like the team can't make a shot? No one can make a shot. All right, we're down 12 points. Before this gets to 18, because no one can make a shot, let me get Korkmaz in, run a screen for him, and let's get him an open 3. Maybe he could be that kind of player to just be that little spark where we can't get anything going offensively.
You know, the one thing I've always liked about Korkmaz, he's got a pair of balls about him. I remember a few games a few years ago where Korkmaz hit game-winning threes. I mean, he's gotten, I guess what I'm saying is Korkmaz, he's not a pussy. He's not afraid to shoot.
He'll shoot it. If you told Korkmaz to shoot it 20 times, he'll shoot it 30.
Yeah, exactly. Now that could turn out to be a detriment at times, but I like his confidence. You know what I'm saying?
But I think Nick Nurse brings that down and says, "Yo, I need you to bring it down. Shoot this, not this. Don't over aggress or over pursue." You know,
I thought Nick Nurse going to use him exactly like go in. I'm going to run a play for you. Come off your screen, shoot this 3. If you make it, we're going to leave you in. If you don't, you're coming out.
Yeah, I thought the Harden trade. I mean, I thought it was poor. Even though Harden had a great year last. I mean, Harden had a very good year last year, so I don't want to shit on the guy. But I was always curious to see how Maxey does having the keys to the Jeep, having the keys to the castle, right?
Right.
Maxey's got the keys now, and I really want to see what he can do because he's going to get a max contract at the end of the year in all likelihood. So we're learning about Maxey. In that respect, I think it's addition by subtraction. The other thing is too. Last year, Tobias was stuck hanging in the corner. Now Tobias in this new offense with this new ball movement offense has much more of a role, and he looks much better. So that's key. And then the other part of the trade I love is that PJ Tucker was signed for next year for $11 million. Now you're out of that 11, so now you actually freed up another $11 million for the cap.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like you dumped that contract off. That's dead money. So, they got some money to play with. Yeah,
the only guy right now that's not playing good ball for the Sixers is D'Anthony Melton. He's the only he's been struggling. He's the only guy that's really not playing well. But he's hang on. I got what Maurice Wright's got a comment here. He says Korkmaz is in a trade proposal along with Springer and another bench player for Jaden Wright, if I'm not mistaken. Jaden Wright? I'm not sure who that is.
I don't know, but I'll take him.
Maybe Jalen Wright, maybe Jaden Wright. Let's see. I'm not Jaden Wright. I don't know. I'll Google him. But
I hate to cut you guys off. Yeah, I'm gonna jump off right now.
All right, man.
So, I'm gonna say peace out.
Birds.
Have a good time finishing the rest of the show.
Peace, guys. Go Birds.
Bomb, 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 bomb.
All right. Dellen Wright.
Okay.
All right, guys. Peace out. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Stay it.
Go Birds.
Dellen Wright. I don't know. That seems like a lot to give up for him. Dellen Wright, maybe Wizards. Here we go. Dellen Wright, Wizards. Well, shit.
Trade him tonight. He can go right to the bench. They play the Sixers tonight.
Dellen Wright's averaging 2.8 points though. So I mean, I don't think, and 21% field goal. I don't think we have to give up too much for him.
He's an all-star.
Oh, Dellen Wright. You know what? Yeah, he's been around for a little while. Okay. I know who he is. Okay, I gotcha. It's a 3-way trade with Portland involved. Shooting guard. Oh yeah, he's 31. Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? Hey, if it helps us, I'll take it. Okay.
Sixers got Boston coming up this week.
Yeah, that's a good measure. That's a really good measuring stick game. What Boston's the only team with a better record than us, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, obviously it's very, very early in the season, but I'm happy with what the Sixers are doing. I love the Harden trade. I'm hoping that somehow we can add somebody else. I mean, I'd love a Zach LaVine, but like you said, Sean, he doesn't really play any defense, but I love his scoring.
Well,
yeah,
I think right now that's what this team could use, like really to,
What about it, DeMarcus? I take DeRozan, man. I just love he's got that fire, that killer instinct in his eye, man. Don't back down.
LaVine and DeRozan have been rumored. Have been calling here for the longest time.
Yeah. Another guy is OG Anunoby from Toronto.
Yeah.
I like him. The only thing about him is, though, he's not. I mean, he's a good defensive player, but kind of a little concerned if you go and acquire him, then his contract's up at the end of the year. He's going to get a max, and I like him as a player, but he's not a max. To me, he's not worth a max. Like I view him kind of on the lines of like Tobias Harris. Like Tobias Harris is a good player. Tobias Harris is a very good player. He's a nice player. The reason we've had issues with Tobias is because he's overpaid. Tobias Harris is a nice player, but he's not worth $30-some million a year. And I feel like OG Anunoby, I feel like in about a year or two's time, we'd be saying the same thing about him.
Another guy too, as you're saying, Tobias Harris is in final year of his contract.
Yeah. Oh, the Sixers only have, I think, Joel Embiid, Paul Reed, and Jaden Springer are the only three guys the Sixers technically have under contract next year, because Maxey is technically a free agent, but they're going to give Maxey's not going anywhere. No. They're going to give Maxey the max, so he's not going to go anywhere. But they're the only guys they have. Here we got one right here. Maurice Wright says, "Hey, is Bamba someone who the Sixers need to get on the court as a role player and a rest piece for Joel, especially if Paul Reed gets in foul trouble?" I think so. I'm actually a little surprised that Mo Bamba hasn't gotten any minutes. So far he's only played he's been deep bench, and he's only played when the game's totally decided.
Well, now that we got Roka, I mean, that just gives more Embiid some time to rest, doesn't it? Wouldn't you guys say so?
Yeah.
I mean, being his backup, his first tour of duty here with the Sixers from before.
Yeah,
Batum I like to see. I remember him always shooting those threes like a clinic, man. So be interesting.
Rocco?
No, Nicholas Batum, the guy that they acquired.
Oh,
Kenyon Martin, and you got Kenyon Martin Jr.'s son. He's like a high flyer, but
yes, sir.
Yeah, KJ Martin's kind of like an athletic type guy. I mean, that's they got him in the trade. He's more of an athlete. I think he averaged a few blocks a game last year on the weak side. So
he's a jumper.
What's that?
He's a jumper. He's he can jump.
Yeah. So, but we'll see though. But let's look at let me look at the Sixers schedule right here, because we got some big games coming up this week. So we got Sixers schedule.
I just had it up.
All right. So this week we have Washington today. This should be a win. At home, Boston at home on Wednesday. That'll be a big game. That's a tough one. Then we got at Detroit on Friday, host the Pacers on Sunday. So we have 4 games before we do the show again. I'm going to say 3-1 in the 4. I don't know if we lose maybe we beat Boston. I just have a feeling that somehow we're going to slip up and lose one game. But it could be Boston, or maybe we beat them and slip up against somebody else, have like a little hiccup. I'm saying 3-1.
I'm right there with you, 3-1. We're going to have a slip up somewhere, somehow. I couldn't agree more.
Like you said, Celtics Wednesday, in Detroit Friday, and then a home and home with the Pacers. I'd say 3-1. Because then next Wednesday they're in Boston. So they got Boston, twice within the next week.
Well, it's funny. Actually, Boston's here again next Wednesday.
Yeah.
As crazy as that's as crazy as
that's weird.
Yeah, as crazy as that is, because I have the season tickets, and I was like, the Sixers have like tons of early season games. It's crazy. In fact, I don't know if I was going to say, I'm waiting on, well, I'll talk to Nhl Flying about it, but I'll let you know about something. But anyway, yeah, so we said 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you guys think of this in-season tournament, by the way? I think it's stupid.
I think it's a joke. It's a waste of time.
I can't even believe they're doing this. Like, usually do that with the playoff, with the lower seeds in the playoffs. Like, why
sorry.
now?
There's
I
no
just
need.
don't get it.
No need. Waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, other than the players getting money, like, what do you really get out of it? Like to me, like, not to be a dick, but like, if I'm watching, like, say the Sixers win the in-season tournament, like, what am I'm not going to go to Frankfurt and Kottman on that, John. You know what I'm saying? Like, I care less. I don't give a shit. Like, although, you know what's funny though? Hey, I'd like to look for any excuse to go have fun. So you know what? Maybe we should. Sixers win the in-season tournament. Everybody goes to Kottman and Frankfurt and just goes ape shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Hey, why not?
That shit crazy.
What's that, John? What's that, Sean?
Grease the poles.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's what she said.
So, all right. So that's the Sixers prediction. We'll get into a lot more than that. A lot more of that. Anybody been watching any of the Flyers? I've been watching them here and there. I know Travis Konecny's been like red hot. He's killing it.
Carter Hart got hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, so he's out at least a few weeks. So we'll get into some.
He was playing pretty good.
Yeah,
I know. For a bit.
I know Farabee's playing good hockey. I know Konecny's playing good, but maybe we'll get into some Flyers, a little bit more Flyers in the coming weeks. I'd actually like to reach out to Bill Meltzer again, maybe try to get him on, and we'll do a little Flyers talk one of these weeks. But yeah. So anyway, all right. So basically, next Monday we'll be back. There'll be no Eagles game. So next week we'll be doing a lot of Sixers and I guess a NFL
agency.
Going around the NFL.
Yeah, NFL review, and maybe a way too early Eagles Chiefs pregame. We'll break pregame. We'll break a little bit of a preview of that. So
2 weeks tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
I just can't even believe it's going into week 10 already. Like, where the hell's the season going?
Yeah,
it's crazy. I
know, isn't it? And I feel like that happens every week. It's funny too, like especially with fantasy football. Like, I looked down. What's funny too, by the way, I looked and fantasy football yesterday. I had Geno Smith as my quarterback. You want to talk about? No, listen. You want to talk about a discrepancy? It probably was like the greatest discrepancy ever in fantasy football, or at least one of them. Geno Smith had like 2 points, right? The guy I played had Stroud. He had 56. So he beat me by 54 points in the quarterback position. Like, needless to say, I didn't have a prayer.
My God.
Just off that one dude, you know what I'm saying?
460, 475 touchdowns. That's an ass whipping.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But pillar to post.
Yeah, but all right, guys. Well, hey, look, let's get ready to wrap up here. It feels great having an 8-1 football season. 8-1 football team, excuse me. Feels great having a 4-1 basketball team that's red hot, and things are looking good in Philadelphia sports. The only bummer is it's a shame our Phillies couldn't have got to the World Series, but hey, hopefully this offseason they can make the right moves and get that magical combination. And this time next year we're talking about a parade. So
let's go out and get a legitimate closer. None of this bullpen by committee stuff.
Yeah,
Yep.
man.
Because I mean, this bullpen by committee stuff the last couple of years just ain't cutting it.
It's not working. Move on. Like I said to you, Fuge, you gotta.
Oh yeah, you have to.
You have to. It's enough. Look in with the new organization and see what free agents out there, your haters, all that other stuff. But yeah, we'll get into that.
So, all right, fellas. Well, look, go Birds, go Sixers, go Flyers, and see you all next week.
Go
Later.
Birds, please.